Welcome to the first episode of Success by Accident. My name is Mike Wood, and I have been wanting to do this for years. It's been on my mind for a long time, and why not now, right? And that's one of the things that I want to teach. And I could go into all the reasons I haven't started. And it comes down to priorities, and I have so much going on. I have my fingers in so many pies. I do so many different things. It just hasn't happened. And of course, I would love for it to be professional and professionally edited and have music in the background. We're not there yet, and that's okay. I want to get the ideas out there. I have coached people, taught people to set up their own online business, eBay, Amazon, websites, for years, decades. It's something that I started back, I believe, in 2002, and we're now 2024. And I haven't, I've stepped away from that role for a few years here and have been working on other things. But I've always kept my own businesses going in the background. And with everything I do, I give it my all. I do my best. I keep that mindset of be the best at whatever it is that you're doing. And I've run into a lot of what I will call success. And I think the first thing that we need to do as we start this and start talking about how to become successful is you have to identify what is success. What does success mean to you? And I think for most of us, when we think about that, success today is usually tied to money. Money is what makes everything move, right? It's how we pay the bills. It's why we have the bills. Our house, our car, our food, our lives are run on money. Or so it seems. Now, the truth is, everything is energy, right? And there are people in the world today who live just fine and are happy who don't use money, or at least don't make it a huge focus. So it's not that you need money or that you must have lots of money to be happy. That certainly is not the case. But think about it and be honest. This is one of the first foundational principles if you are going to learn to be successful, if you're going to train yourself to be successful. What does success mean to you? So that's the first thing. And that it should evolve. It should be changing all the time. We are constantly evolving. And I do believe in evolution. To that sense, we are evolving who we are. We are becoming new, different creatures. We won't get into my beliefs otherwise right now, but we have to evolve. We have to change. Nobody remains the same. And if you are the same, you're doing it wrong. That's not what life is about. We're not here to remain the same. We are here to grow. We are here to learn. We are here to adapt. We are here to become. Now, what is it you are here to become? That's one of the questions that you need to have in your mind there, and you have to define. And maybe not just in your mind, write it down. So, what does success mean to you? And right on the heels of that, what are you meant to become, or what do you currently desire to become? Now, the main thing I want to talk about here on this is how I have seemingly fallen into success over and over and over in many aspects of my life. And it may not be what you deem as success. Some of the examples I'll give seem rather small. But again, what is success? Right? What does it mean to succeed? There might be an end goal. So let's look at that and say, okay, we got this big goal. I want to be successful, which means I'm going to have $100,000 a year coming in, $20,000 in savings in the bank at all times. I'm going to have a car, XYZ, vehicle, and a cabin in the woods and travel the world. We could put all of these things in this success bubble, right? And we could say, if I had all of that, I would consider myself successful. Okay, I think it's good to have goals. I think having your why you get up in the morning is valuable. Why evolve? There's some value to that. So there's nothing wrong with having those goals and defining those. But in order to achieve any level of success, where does it start? And this is one of the hardest things to get across to many people. In coaching, it was one of the most difficult things for me to do because so many people I taught came to me. By the time they got to me, it was because they saw an ad somewhere. They were sucked into some program that told them that they could be successful at running their own business online. And of course, many of those ads make it sound easy. They make it look easy. They show you the results. And then they will tell you, they'll have the caveat, it's not easy. It's going to take work, but we'll show you how to do it. We'll make it easy, right? And so when they got to me as a coach, what they had in their mind more than anything was easy, easy, easy. And that's what they were looking for. That's what they were hoping for. They were sold the dream, but they had no clue what it would take to get there. And the hardest thing for me to teach was changing this mindset. Mindset is what brings success. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, including our thoughts. We literally create our reality. We do. We create what we have around us. And I've had so many conversations where I've talked to people about this, or I've seen people talking about it online, and I didn't create the car accident. I didn't bring cancer to my life. Yes, you did. Yes. It doesn't mean that you have to think of the specific outcome. When we say you create your reality, that doesn't mean that you sat in your home, in your car, in your work, every day thinking, I want to have cancer, I want to have cancer, I want to have cancer. No, that's not how it works. Okay? However, that doesn't mean that your thoughts didn't create those things. So, to explain this a little bit, thoughts are things, thoughts are energy, and everything is energy. We are energy. This camera that I'm using is energy. This wall back here is energy. And if we get right down to it, look at everything in a microscope at a microscopic level, you're going to find out that this is made out of the same as this and the air that you can't see between you and me. Everything is made out of the same stuff. So why is this one invisible and this are solid? If it's all the same thing, right? So rather than try to understand all of that and to try and figure out how things are put together and made, and we could get into all those scientific rabbit holes, but just recognize that when scientists look at this and drill down in a microscope, almost everything, everything, when it comes down to it, you get down to the molecular level, and it's 90% or more empty space. There's more nothing, as far as we can see it and identify, than there is something. And everything's made of this. Okay? So if we recognize, first, just tuck that away. Yeah, it might be hard to wrap your head around it, but just recognize that that's something that we've seen as we have looked with the instruments that we have the capability to see things with. Talk about if we look at this on a spiritual level. The soul, the spirit. What is spirit matter compared to physical matter? It exists. There are many examples of this that indicate this exists, but we can't see those things usually. Some people can, some people more than others, right? Sometimes we have an intuition or a vision or a dream or something where we're connecting, maybe an NDE. That's something that many people have explained, that they saw themselves when they were dead on the operating table, and they were able to come back and describe everything that the doctor said and things that happened in the next room and down the hall and in other cities. How could they do that? They were connected to source, something bigger than us that we can't understand. What I want you to recognize is that you create your reality, and you can be connected to that. You are connected to that, but you can be more consciously connected to that. You can work to train yourself to be in a place where success can come to you over and over and over. So I think the biggest trick, and let's just dumb it down real simple. The biggest thing to recognize here is success doesn't come easy. It doesn't come by accident, without effort. It takes the right mindset, the right thoughts, the right attitude, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's gone through many iterations over the years. It's always the same thing. From Plato to present, the philosophers that have talked about this, the mindset coaches, they're all saying the same thing. Okay? We create our reality, and it starts up here. Thoughts, emotions are things that will create. And so again, if we want to dumb it down, there's a positive and a negative. There's a yin and a yang. There are two sides to everything, and we can either create the negative or we can create the positive. I don't remember which hand was which earlier. We decide whether we're going to bring positive things to us or negative things to us. Every minute, every second of every day, we're choosing how to act and how to react. And if we constantly give ourselves positive input, positive feedback, positive thoughts, then we're going to have great things happen to us. I'm going to give a real simple example. And I hope this will kind of just drive home how we should live our lives. Think about this, if every human being on this planet loved and cared about themselves and others, what would the planet be like? Now, that's a big hypothetical, I get it. I can't force somebody else to think positively, but I can influence others. And if I'm influencing you right now and you change something in the way you think, then I've succeeded. That's success in my mind. And if you take that and present it to somebody in your actions, in your deeds, in your talk, just in passing by in a smile, in one kind act that you wouldn't have otherwise done, then my influence has now grown, hasn't it? We can change the world. We can make everything wonderful. And we don't have to have conflict. We don't have to have negativity. We don't have to have evil, war, killing, murder in order to grow. And that's another thought. I'm getting on tangents here now, but it's another thought I've had is, why aren't there stories out there, and there probably are some books and some movies, just about pure imagination without an antagonist that wants to kill or harm the other individual, right? I think there is an amazing amount of incredible mystery and intrigue and fun and excitement out there in the world to be found without this dichotomy of good versus evil. I don't think that we necessarily need that. And I think we would grow a lot better without that, honestly. All right, so success by accident. What do I mean by that? So again, small example. Last night I was driving home from work, and the roads were nasty. I'm in Utah. It's January 11th, and so January 10th yesterday, and we had quite a snowstorm come in, and it dumped everywhere. And there's just no way the plows could get out and clear all the roads for those who are traveling. And of course, this storm hit, well, it was all day, but pretty heavy and pretty messy the time that everybody's traveling to get back home from their different jobs, right? And so the roads were a mess. And I got to, I think, maybe 4 or 5 miles from home, and just crawling, 2 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. 20 miles an hour for, a couple hundred yards, and then slow back down. And it's ridiculous. And so I thought, all right, well, I'll get off the road and go over to the shopping center here and pick up a couple things that my wife mentioned she needed. And so I pulled off and turned in to go to the store. And as I'm pulling into the parking lot, there's all these different complexes, all these different stores lined up. And as I pulled in to go over to the store over here to shop, I noticed somebody close to the main road before I got to that parking lot who was scraping their car off and had this minivan just covered in snow, the windows covered in snow, a couple other 2 or 3 vehicles there covered in snow, and it looked like somebody was, starting to clean that off, and they didn't appear to me to have a scraper, or a very good one, a window scraper. So I thought, well, I've got 2 good ones in my truck here, so I'll pull over and help out. That's something that I was taught early on by my dad. And so I attribute a lot of my success to him, because he taught me how to be helpful, how to serve. You just do what needs to be done. When somebody's in need, you help. Where was I going? Right? It's not like I was in a hurry to get somewhere and so I could help out. So I got out and pulled these scrapers out, handed one to one guy and said, here, use this and I'll help you out. And we cleaned that car off in a few seconds, and then went on to the next one and cleaned that car off. And I saw several others that probably weren't related to these guys that were covered in snow. And I thought, why not clear them all off? I've got time. Where am I going? If I get back on the road, I'm just going to sit there for an hour to go 5 miles to get home. I might as well wait a little bit. Maybe the traffic will die down. Maybe the plows will come through by then. Who knows? I was going to go shopping anyway, take some time. So I cleared off those cars, and I looked around and I saw, there's a few more over here. And I saw one girl over there clearing off a car. So I went over and helped there and cleared off some more vehicles. I don't know whose cars these are. I don't know, who's going to benefit from this. But it had stopped snowing. There was snow and ice on their windows. Why not do a good deed, right? That's all I was thinking. And it feels good. I love this kind of stuff. I hope you do too. And I hope you take the opportunities, because that will build your mindset and give you more success than you could ever imagine. Just because you go out of your way to do something kind for someone else. And it could be something small, it could be something big. For some of these people, it was a big deal. For some, it was small. It wasn't a big deal. But this gal over there that was cleaning off, she mentioned, thank you, that's really nice of you to do that. And I'm like, no worries. And, what am I going to do? I'm not going to make it home anytime soon. So I kept cleaning off cars. And then she came back out to me and she said, hey, I am the hospitality manager at Chick-fil-A. Are you hungry? I can get you some food. No, I just ate. I'm good. Thank you. And she kept pushing, we really appreciate this. These cars you're clearing off are for our employees who are going to finish their shift in an hour here. And they really appreciate that. They see you out here doing this, right? Because it was just, I don't know, a block away, half block away. It wasn't far away. I was one parking lot over from their restaurant. And that made me feel good. I'm like, that's really cool. And she said, I'd love to do something for you. How many family members do you have? And I told her, family members. And I said, all right, let me see what I can do. And I went on cleaning the cars there. And when I got done cleaning what was in that particular vicinity, I looked around and I saw, okay, over in this little parking lot, there's a couple of cars that are covered in snow. Let's go clean those. I'm here. Where am I going to go, right? And so I went and cleaned those cars and was coming back, and she came up to me and had a small package in her hand, and I thought, well, that's not a lot of food for 4 people, my initial thought. But I didn't dwell on that. I'm like, I wasn't doing this for glory or for anything in return, right? I wasn't thinking of that. She came up to me and she handed me a handful of gift cards and said, use these for whatever you want. When you come back, we really appreciate you. The moral of the story here, and that's a small thing, right? And the question I've had is I've wanted to relay this story. I want you to think about, where is the success? Where is the success in this story? And I would say there are multiple levels of success here. By the way, one part I left out is I had 2 scrapers, right? And when I went over and helped the first group, that's all I was thinking was help them out. They had these little small ones. I had a big long one, and I've got extras at home and had 2 with me. I don't need 2. What am I going to do with 2? So I said, here, you can keep that. And he was really grateful, right? And he told I don't know if it was a family member, whoever they were with there, hey, you told me I could keep this, and she was like, really? And to them, it seemed like a little bit of a big deal. It was a nice gift. To me, it was nothing. I bought these on clearance last year or beginning of this year, I guess. Well, last year in 23 when they were, $2 a piece. It didn't cost me much. And so where is success in that story? There's success in how I made them feel, those initial people, right? Success in the fact that they received something they weren't looking for. I succeeded in clearing off the snow. That was what I was all about. I gave service. I cleared off snow from many cars. That's enough success for me. But there was more that came. Because somebody saw me doing this kind deed, they gave me something in return. I wasn't looking for it, wasn't expecting it, didn't need it, but they wanted to express their gratitude. The success that I want to talk about, I've got so many episodes up here in my head about what I want to share with you, about how big success, little success, many things have come simply because I've had the right mindset to receive. That's what it comes down to. If you learn to control your mind, if you learn to control your thoughts, and it's not going to just happen overnight. It's not going to be a snap of the fingers. You've had a history of thinking the way you do for however many years. If you want to change all of that, every cell in your body has this history, this evidence that says this is how we're supposed to act. You start changing, and every cell in your body says this change. That's not the way we do it. This is the way we do it. You're in autopilot. It's habitual, right? And so, it's going to take some time. Another thought there, that we could go down. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some effort to make things happen. But the more you work on this, the more you focus on doing good without worrying about receiving, the more you will receive. So the most selfish thing you could do is be unselfish. Now, a little caveat here. If you take this little lesson I've given you and you think, I'm in a snowy area, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to scrape off people's windows and they're going to appreciate me and somebody's going to give me something and I'm going to get rewarded for it. And you go out and you work hard for an hour scraping people's windows off and nobody notices and nobody says thank you. And if at that point you say, well, that didn't work, that sucks, Mike was wrong, what have you done? It's not about techniques. It's not about mechanics. There's love and there's fear. Success in any level is all about love. You focus on doing the right thing, the good thing, the loving thing, no matter what it is. And we don't worry about the return. We don't have jealousy, anger, frustration, all of these fear level things. There's love and there's fear. There's a lot of emotions and thoughts that fall under love, and there's a lot of emotions and thoughts that fall under fear. How does it weigh in your life? Where are you on this balance? Are you heavier on the fear or heavier on the love? If you're one of those people who is miserable all the time and sees bad things happen all the time and says things like, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all, you're over here. You're focusing on fear. And I'm telling you, if you change that, your whole life will change. You don't have to be rich to be happy. You don't have to be rich to be successful. You don't have to have a lot of money to be rich. Like I say, I've got a lot more I want to go on, but I think I've rambled on enough for this one. So thank you for watching. If you feel this has been beneficial, share it with somebody who could use it. Give me a like, subscribe if you'd like. I'm hoping to give you more. Have a great day.